The Adventures of Seeadler. Hello everyone, please take a seat and I'll tell you a tale from the salty fog of war, a war long forgotten or engraved in history. In order to kill the pirate ship, the Germans did not rely solely on their warships, but caught all the seafarers who were on the way and fit to fight. An American sailing ship caught between them, the course between New York and the Russian port of Archangelsk, carrying cotton at the time. Although the ship was neutral, the Germans hijacked it and baptized Seeadler. The ship was completely redesigned and ready for battle. In his core, the Germans installed cannons and machine guns that suddenly dived out of the liftable lids, and installed a diesel engine and fuel depots. The Seeadler was able to load both water and food. The amount of stock that sailors could not set foot on for even 2 years. Unbelievable, but the crew of this ship emphatically adhered to medieval chivalrous respect for enemies. The sailboat warehouses were equipped with 400 berths to accommodate the crews of sunken ships and several cabins for top commanders. In order to make the prisoners feel as pleasant as possible, the smallest details were thought out, even records with French and English melodies were provided. But most important of all, a neutral flag was raised by Seeadler so that enemies would not suspect anything and were not afraid to approach, and the ship Cheetah would dodge the threatening British ships. Seeadler was converted into a Norwegian ship and received the pseudonym Imar, the name of the ship's captain, the wife of Count Felix von Luckner. He and most of the crew spoke Norwegian. Even on the sailors' clothing, there were Norwegian labels. The ship was decorated and the interior was done in a typical Scandinavian style. Even the thermometers and compasses were made in Norway. The sailors carried in their clean pockets letters allegedly received from their loved ones from Norway, and the walls of the cabins were hung with photos of girls with exclusively Nordic features. Such aids were necessary to convince the ship to be neutral if it were to be inspected by a British inspectorate. In the event that one of the inspectors noticed too much, a sophisticated hydraulic mechanism was built in the senior officials' dining room. English had to be introduced at a crucial moment. Descending to the warehouses were an unwelcome guest reception team. 1916 December the 21st, the Seeadler departs from Germany and emerges into the North Sea via the Danish coast. To avoid the Royal Navy blockade, the steering wheel is directed towards Iceland and enters the Arctic ice. The frozen ship scarves the icy water until it turns south toward the warmer Atlantic. As intentionally, on the first day of Christmas, he meets Avenge, a British cruiser. From here several sailors descend in boats to the sea and begin to sail towards Seeadler, intending to check it out. Von Luckner and his men are covered in nervous anxiety, but they must remain serious. If you don't want to give up. Upon reaching the ship, the English board the deck and inspect it without even suspecting that everything here is just smoky. After checking the documents, he declares that the papers are true, but before saying goodbye, von Luckner politely warns that he will pick them up for an hour until the radiotelegraph contacts Oslo and makes sure that Imar's data matches Norwegian data. It seems that everything is already lost, but a miracle happens. After an hour the British allow the ship to continue the voyage. Why don't they stick? It was only later that the Germans realized that the Norwegian post probably had not worked at Christmas, so after several unsuccessful attempts, the English decided not to bother. Like an unexpected Christmas present, the ship sailed with good luck for the first time, later not abandoning them for a long time. From that day on, the German ship pirate becomes lord of the sea. The Germans act on a similar principle each time. After raising a neutral flag, they approach an English or a cargo ship and, quickly replacing the Norwegian flag, launch a warning shot at the Kriegsmarine Navy. A pirate ship becomes like a floating hotel. Taken away, sailors on the deck enjoy the warmth of the sun and plenty of rations of looted food. They seem to be infected with the Stockholm Syndrome and are looking around the horizon for a new victim to further increase the ship's warehouses. The mood on board is further brightened by the wives of the captive captains. For the hostages, the captivity turns into a cruise at the expense of enemies, and von Luckner quickly transfers the prisoners to a French ship so that the sailors can return home. An unwanted Seeadler has already been spotted. It flies to the Malvinas Islands, and in 1916. In April he turns behind the dangerous Horn of Cape into the peaceful Pacific Ocean. The brave and cunning von Luckner, whom the Allies called the Devil, successfully hunts in the south of the Hawaiian Islands, sinking several American ships to the bottom for centuries. Guests re-enter their lounges to spend their free time fishing for sharks. The wanderer sails into the archipelago of a French-owned colony in Moplia, now called Mopica. It is the only island the Germans managed to occupy during the whole war. Thus, Moplia, which covers 4 square kilometers, belongs to the German Empire. A handful of incomprehensible Polynesians fall under the power of the distant Kaiser, carelessly fishing for turtles without worrying about the worries of Europeans. The Seeadler names on the island are saturated to will with pure water and fresh fruit, thus at least somewhat compensating for avitaminosis. The ship's crew and prisoners rest on the white beaches of the island, fishing and collecting fruit until 1917. On August the 2nd they face a catastrophic and fateful event. Suddenly, water begins to follow from the shores of the island, and in the distance, a gigantic wall of water approaches the island. All attack to climb the heights of the island, and the sailors on board from making every effort to withdraw from the island as soon as possible. A wave about 12 meters high sweeps the Seeadler and throws it on a shallow coral reef. No man dies in a miracle, but a ship smashes into a coral. The sailors left without a ship and far from the waterways are facing a joyful future. However, von Luckner, who never gives up in despair, orders the boat to be assembled from Seeadler's remains and sails with several men in search of another ship suitable for transporting troops to Germany. Using his cunning and deceptive talent, the Sea Devil hijacks the first ship he meets. After 3 weeks of wandering, they arrive at Katafang in Fiji and introduce themselves to poor Norwegian soldiers. But New Zealand police are suspected and a whole platoon of drowned ship passengers are sent to a prisoner-of-war camp. The Germans left in Mopel to attack a small French boat that arrived on the island. He disembarks his crew and pulls himself towards Easter Island. Here he floats on the underwater reefs again and crashes. The Germans snatch enemies and deport them to Chile until the end of the war, and send another rescue ship to Moplia. Von Lucerne, who remains in New Zealand, can in no way reconcile the fact that the war is over for him. 1917 in December, he cheated on a ship owned by the regional commander, escaped with his entire shuttle, and soon hijacked a larger ship. But the New Zealanders throw a glove at him in the Kermadec Islands. Finally, the war for the reckless pirate really came to an end. Von Lucerne returned to Germany in 1919. As a hero, he later published his stormy adventure stories, which were a success not only in his hometown, but also in the United States. Nobody got both that von Luckner was a true gentleman. He pirated 23 ships into the depths of the sea without casualties. As always, please don't take my ramblings for fact. Everyone can make mistakes, and I don't want to misguide you. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you soon.